Hi y'all, I'm Paula Dean, and today we're making two recipes that center around my favorite ingredient, butter.
You're watching the Paula Dean Show.
Look, since I went and done got myself the diabetes, I gotta stay away from sugar, but they didn't say nothing about not using so much butter. So today, this butter will figure prominently in two things. We're gonna poach a steak in nothing but butter, melted of course, and we're gonna make my favorite Georgia potatoes. They're called HASSELBACK, and of course there's butter on top of them. Let's start by clarifying some of this butter. So first things first, we gotta melt the butter. We're just gonna put these pieces in a pot on real low heat. It's gonna take a couple minutes, but it's worth it because you get to watch the butter all melting and getting runny, getting all exciting, shiny and beautiful. This is a sight to behold. Honey, I know it looks like a lot of butter, but it's not like we're gonna be drinking it. We're just gonna be poaching a steak in it. Clarifying means you're separating the fat solids from the rest of the butter. After a couple of minutes on low heat, it'll get all foamy on top. We're gonna take that off. We'll be left with gorgeous liquid inside. That's what we're gonna use. While we're waiting for the butter to melt, let's prep our taters. We're gonna take two taters that we've washed, and we're gonna make one small slice on the bottom of each, like this, so they sit flat. There you go. Once that's done, watch how we'll make these nice and even, because this is real important. We'll take two chopsticks. You know, you get those from one of them Chinese restaurants. We're gonna set the tater right in between like that. And now we'll take our knife, and when we cut down, it doesn't separate from the bottom, which is important because we want nice thin slices without this all separating. See what I mean? And when you're set, we're gonna put them on a baking sheet on a rack. Then we'll finish off the clarified butter. That's that liquid gold. My mama used to tell me about that liquid gold, and then she taught me how to get it. So once we got this all cleaned out as much as we can, now we take this and go over to our taters. Come on this way. Now we take some of this butter, mix it up a bit. We brush our taters. I gotta say, this just reminds me being a little girl in my granny's house. She'd make these HASSELBACK potatoes. It takes about an hour. We'd go out in the yard and we'd play with the pigs and the ducks and the chickens. Then she'd call us in for dinner. Paula, come on in, the potatoes are ready. And once those are all nice like, we're gonna season well with kosher salt and fresh ground pepper. And don't worry about the little splits in the taters, because about a half an hour in, they're gonna start to open up. We're gonna be able to put more butter inside that. It'd be real delicious. And in they go. The oven's at 425 degrees. We're gonna give that 30 minutes, and then we're gonna come back and give it some more love with the butter and a little garlic. In the meantime, while that's cooking, you just go pour yourself a mint julep, go sit out on the front porch with your uncle and your cousin, and you wait till that's halfway done, because that's when we're gonna attend to our steak in the butter that you're gonna love. Okay, now that the fat's out, we're gonna take 4 big cloves of garlic. Just give them like a little hit with the flat side of a knife, open them up, and just drop them inside that butter bath. And some fresh thyme, and we're just gonna let that do its magic. That's gonna help season our steak once we get it in that gorgeous, bright yellow butter bath. All right, y'all, it's time to, hold on. Excuse me. I gotta say, being a Southern lady is not as easy as it looks. And this damn thing's gotta come off. It's just bothering the hell out of me. Oh, for God's sake, this piece of shit off my arm. It's not easy. Not easy being a Southern lady. Sorry. Let's get our taters and have a look. Woo, look at that. Remember I told you, they'd start to open up all by themselves at about the half-hour mark. So now we're gonna take this butter that's got the garlic and the thyme, and brush them once more. Because this time, all the butter's gonna get deep down inside those slits that we made with our knife. Boy, oh boy, is this gonna be good. And once that's all buttered up real nice, it goes back in the oven to finish and get extra crispy. When them taters has got about 15, 20 minutes left, we're gonna start our steak in the butter bath. You call it poaching, you call it cooking, you call it anything you want. All I know is there's butter and there's steak involved, and it don't get much better than that, y'all. Time for the steak, y'all. Come on, sugar, get close, have a look at this. So here's what I've got. I got myself a little ribeye. Boneless, beautiful color, nice amount of fat. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna season it first with salt and pepper, just like this. And don't be shy. Salt's gonna help, pepper's gonna help. Do both sides, just like that. You season that the right way, and that steak will be happier than a polecat in the sewer in winter in Georgia. Whatever the that means. But come on, let's check our butter. It's time. Time, y'all. The key to the cooking right now is making sure it's not too hot. And the way we do that is by using an instant read thermometer that I just happen to have in my giant brazier right here. Feels better now that it's out. Come on, let's take a look, darling. We'll want to keep this somewhere between about 150 and about 165, 70 degrees. Look where we're at. We're about 163, 164. Perfect. Now that that's there, we're going to take our steak. Hope it's not too big. Hope it's not too big. That's what she said, y'all. We're going to lay it right in this butter. Come on, baby. Just like that. And what you want to make sure that it's covered with butter. Look, it don't look like it's doing nothing, but trust me, at 165 degrees, that's going to start cooking our steak. It's going to take about maybe 20 minutes, depending on where your temperature is. If you don't have enough butter to cover your steak, then about halfway through, you're just going to turn the sucker over, make sure both sides get done real well, and then we'll sear it, and then we're going to eat the hell out of that damn thing. While we're waiting for the steak to cook and the taters to finish, I heard the cutest joke the other day. A black man and a Jewish man and a Mexican man all walk into the bar, and the bartender says, "Hey," and the black fella says, then a policeman came in and a priest, and then the Mexican guy says, "If that's the way you think it's going to be, I best be going back to Georgia." You get that? First oh, never mind. All right, y'all, the steak is ready. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take it out of the butter. We're going to put it right here on this rack. I'm going to heat up a grill pan to give it some gorgeous color. And once it's rested, get yourself a ripping hot pan. I'm using a ridged pan, and put your steak in. And you might as well give it a little butter on top, just for shits and giggles. We're gonna go about 30 seconds aside. So 15 that way, 15 that way. Then we're gonna give it a flip. And we're done. Now we'll let that rest for a couple minutes, get ourselves a eating. And when it's ready, away we go. Look at that. Butter poached and perfect. Lord, you done helped me make this one beautiful steak. And once you got it all beautiful like that, make yourself a gorgeous plate. Set yourself down some steak. Then we're gonna grab ourselves one of our taters, and look how golden and crispy they done got. That is my thing. Nobody move. Very carefully, we'll set that down like that. We're gonna do two things. Gonna put a little sour cream right on top of our tater. We're gonna add beautiful salt on both and just the littlest bit of thyme on top of them taters. And one last thing, this butter that's all garlic and thymed up, that right there. Goodness gracious. And if you want, you can even take out one of the big garlic cloves and set it down right on top. And a little pepper. That, ladies and gentlemen, is one fantastic butter poached steak and Hasselback taters with butter, garlic, and thyme. Y'all, if it wasn't obvious, there's only one thing left to do at this point. That's have a bite. Fortunately, I keep a fork. Hold on. Right there, right close, in case I need to eat something real quick like. Come on, let me show you the best way to have a bite. What you want to do is get yourself some of this garlic, because it's all soft and supple and delicious now. Get real nice steak bite like that, and in it goes straight into your pie hole. I get butter, steak, butter, garlic, butter, butter. Oh my God. And then get a couple slices of the tater. All them crisp edges, soft inside, all gorgeous. Give it a little bit of the sour cream and a crunchy bite. You hear that, y'all? That's crispier than a gator snapping at your ass in the moonshine. That don't make no sense. Crispier than a gator snapping at your toes in the moonlight. That don't make sense. But it's damn good. All right, we've learned how to poach a steak in butter with some garlic and thyme and make butter or Hasselback taters. What more could you ask? Hey everyone, Sam says, subscribe to his YouTube channel, comment, like, tell your friends. Well, I'm sort of Paula Dean. I'll see y'all next time.
Hey, don't go yet. Check out more episodes or have a look at the links in the description for stuff we might have used in the show.